about how you can connect with your customers using video, how you can influence them, how you can increase sales, and how you can keep your customers connected throughout this corona crisis that we're going through at the moment. So we're here live. As you know, I'm Nikki, and I've got my counterpart Annie with me. Hi, Annie.
Hi, everyone. Great
and
to
a
have
very
you.
special guest. And we are practicing social distancing. This is just this is just an illusion at the moment. And we're so fortunate to have Jainey Bennett with us, and she is Europe's favourite shopping channel presenter. So we're stoked to have you with us, Jainey.
Thanks for inviting me.
This
is good fun.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. I mean, this is what I do, and this is what I enjoy. So when she asked me, it was absolutely yes. So it's good.
So I've had my eye on Jainey for quite some time because, you know, I personally know Jainey, but professionally I have stalked her and, you know, had no idea who this woman was when I met her. But if you have a little look at who Jainey Bennett is, and her skills are outstanding. And, you know, right now we're trying to help all of you salon owners to make the most money you possibly can in this situation. So we need to diversify. That's what we've got to do. And one thing that we have been talking about is creating online shops and keeping your customers connected and making more money using videos. So who better to get on than Jainey Bennett? So
well, this is what it's all about, is keeping that audience connected. I'll use the word audience because that's what I'm used to, but of course that translates to your customers, because at the end of the day, this is what you want, is for them to tune in and be with you rather than someone else. And especially at this day and age, especially now with this, you know, terrible state of the world, if you like, we really do need to make sure that you are going to be that go-to person, that not only they're going to for advice, if you like, but also someone that they can connect with. And that's the biggest thing, the biggest challenge that we have with our live TV. Of course, everything's live, there's no scripts, which I'll talk about in a few moments, is that we do have to be the person that they want to look at and they want to have fun with. And at the end of the day, even though we're selling product, which of course that's what we're all here for, we also do have to make that connection with the customer. Now, we have about 20 or 30 presenters that work with us on our shopping TV. But what we find is, statistically, when we ask our audience what their viewpoints are, if you like, on the presenters, they actually like the ones that they feel a connection with. They actually feel that they like the ones that they don't feel like they're being sold product to directly.
Right.
You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yes, we are selling product, but I think what we have to make sure that we hang on to is that we are giving a service to them as well. So when I present live TV, what we see is all the sales coming in. We can see how many of hundreds and thousands of people actually coming to buy a product within that moment. But what we also get to see are lots of comments. And I think that's one thing that you can do, of course, with videos, is to make sure that the content is connecting to them and ask so many questions as well. And that's what we like to do when we are selling, is to make sure that we make the audience or the customer feel that they have a voice as well. And I think that's really, really important. So yes, of course, you're the person that knows everything about what you're selling, but you also want to make that audience feel important as well. And I think that's the massive key to selling on TV or online, is to get that connection and to make sure that, of course, that their opinion does count. So important.
It is important, isn't it? That's really interesting, because when we're online and we're giving advice to all of these business owners to go online and to be the experts in their field and to give information. And I always believe, and if you follow me, then you know that I believe if you want to receive, you've got to give. So you have to err on the side of generosity, and that goes the same in presenting, by the sounds of things, doesn't it, Jainey?
Oh, well, absolutely. I mean, if you ever see me on TV, yes, I might be selling a candle, let's say. The way that we do it, it's one product per hour. So we have to, there's a lot to talk about in 1 hour, but I have to tell you, it goes like that, because we're not just talking about the specifics of the candle per se. We're also giving back, and that's exactly what you just said. We are actually giving more information, not just about the products. And I think that's key, because that's where the customer thinks, well, you know what? I'm going to be tuning in with this person, with this brand, with this salon. These are the people. Not only do they have fantastic products and services, but they're actually giving me something extra. So it's actually giving someone something extra without being charged for it. You've always heard that saying, there's no such thing as a free lunch. I believe absolutely yes, there is. If you're giving extra content, you're giving extra information, then of course you're going to stand yourselves in really good stead, of course, in months down the track, when all this I hate the word COVID, but I'm going to have to use it when it all blows over. But you are going to be the ones that yes, of course, there's no doubt who else they're going to want to shop with in the future. Absolutely.
That's right. And right now, it's a very emotional time now too, Jainey. So it is a great time to build those connections and to give more to your community and to your fans and to your customers and to those people who may not already be customers. You can really set yourself up and position yourself as an expert in your field if you can connect with your customers online. So what we want you to do is really listen to what Jainey's saying, because you need to connect with your customers. You need to give as much as you can to your customers before they're going to make a decision to buy or book or purchase from you. So it's really important that you do connect. But, I find in our industry, a lot of people aren't necessarily business people. They may have been therapists and then gone on and opened up their salon, so they don't have that business knowledge, which makes them a little bit, I think, sometimes apprehensive. Do you think, Annie, to get online?
Apprehensive and disadvantaged also, Nick. And the one thing, right now, we keep talking about this as being our new normal in this new world. This is a whole reset that the whole world now is going through. And so this is the perfect opportunity for you to try something different and reset your business, so that when you get to open the doors, I know we're not closed here in Australia right now, but in other countries that are watching, you are. So, this is the opportunity to reset right now, stretch, do things that you haven't done in the past. And we're so blessed to have Jainey with us today or tonight in your time, that you're crazy not to be there with a pen and paper and taking lots of notes right now. And make sure that you watch this over and over and over again, because she's got such, amazing experience that you can all draw from. So please,
and what, very much, I've never seen Jainey live presenting, but the one thing that I'm picking up now is your energy, Jainey, and that's really important. And I know that over the years, and I've been involved in TV and radio and all sorts of things, something that people have always advised me to do is to think about something that you're super passionate about, and then that will ooze out of everything you say. So I don't know if you watch Annie and I when we're talking, but we're super passionate about business, and that comes through in our personality, and that's what's great for connection, isn't it, Jainey?
Well, absolutely. And just to reiterate what you just said, Annie, about this is the new way. So the past is the past, and the way that we all did business. This is a massive shaker, and it really is. And I mean, on my Facebook page, I am quite controversial a little bit, because my beliefs, I'm quite esoteric, and I do believe in the law of attraction. But I think we can all, as business owners, actually hook into that as well. And what do I mean by that is that, we do have to wipe this slate clean. I mean, this is all brand new now. We're not just
right, Jainey,
that we used to. And I think if you're here at the very beginning, at the very start, yes, it can be a little bit frightening to even be on the screen sometimes. But don't forget, you are the one that they're coming to. So they don't actually see any nerves, to be honest. What they see is raw passion. What they see is that you are giving something extra. And again, you are here at the very beginning of something brand new. And like we just said, when you turn the tables forwards, turn the time forwards, rather, in another 4 months time, whatever, this is going to be the new way as well. This is, we won't go, oh, well, we won't be doing this anymore. This will be another asset, another string to your bow, as it were. It really will be.
Absolutely. And that's
the other thing here to remember, Nick, is that, ladies, when you're doing your videos, that you're speaking to customers that already love you. They already are your customers, so they will be loyal to you. And as Nikki and I have said, you must keep them engaged for however long this period of time is. It is more important to have more engagement with your clients right now. So they're going to love you no matter what. If you're going into a broader market than that, and you're going to be doing sponsored ads or extra marketing, then those people don't know you. But, start with the clients that know you. Get your feet wet. But no matter what, just get started here. That's the most important thing. Just have a go.
That's right, Annie. And the sooner that everyone out there starts getting online, you don't have to go live like we are. You can record, pre-record, and then post your videos later. I will tell you that Facebook does like Facebook Lives better than pre-recorded videos. So you will get fed out more into the newsfeed if you're doing live videos. However, if you just want to start pre-recording videos, then that's the first step forward. As Annie always says about moving forward, it doesn't matter how fast you're going, forward is still forward. So take one step in the right direction and start doing videos now. Start being the expert in your field. We've got one of the best TV presenters in the world here today, and we're super lucky to be able to pick her brain. But something that, just backtracking a little bit, something that gets me about Jainey and watching her tonight is that, like, every time she talks, she's electric and she's excited and she's exciting. So that makes her very attractive to watch. Don't you think?
Well, this is it. I think, but in life, there are two types of people, and this is my analogy anyway. Those that can, and those that really want to, but that just don't have the confidence to do it. And it's such a shame, though, the ones that don't have the confidence, because they also have the skills just like the confident ones. And I think what you just said, instead of going live straight away, just record it just to get your feet wet. But I mean, live is where the passion does come through. It really, really does. And what I have found, because I used to live in the UK, so I was constantly on air, some days 6 hours a day, which is massive for selling on TV. And then moving to Australia, what we found was, because of course I couldn't then be live, I didn't realize the massive impact actually it had on my audience, that they weren't seeing me. And you kind of think, oh, do they really want to see me? Really? Little old me, But yes, they do. Your audience do want to see you. And that's something I really want to get across. Even if you start slowly and build it up, be under no disillusion. They want to see your face. They want to see you constantly. They want to see you engaged, and they want to see you passionately. And that's what they really do want to see.
Yeah,
and that's what they buy into. They really do.
Yeah, they buy into that personal connection, don't they? So it's super important for that personal connection. So what we want you to do is start doing Facebook Lives. If you're not confident enough to do Facebook Lives, then pre-record. I think the secret to coming across, or one of the secrets, Jainey will tell you there's a few more than this, but one of the secrets to coming across well on video is to know your shit, basically. So if you're confident in what you're speaking about, and you don't have to read notes, you know your product, you know your treatment well, you know your services well, then you don't have to write anything down. You don't have to read from an auto cue. You're speaking from the heart, which is coming across passionately to your viewers. So that's really important, isn't it?
It is very important. I really do think being unscripted is the way to go, because if you do have a script, you'll see people straight away. You'll know their eyes are looking somewhere else, their voice is quite stilted, and I think that is the worst thing that you can do. And people do literally just switch off straight away. I've seen other TV stations actually where they want their presenters, which in my mind's crazy, to actually read from a script. I really don't think that's good TV watching. It really isn't. And the audience, they're not stupid. You know, they will pick up on that. And what they want to see is rawness. They want to see, you know, they want to see bloopers. I mean, sometimes what I was doing on shows, we would accidentally say something, and then my director would keep replaying it back over and over again. So it's a little bit of fun, because at the end of the day, we are all human. We do make mistakes. And what I'm trying to get at is, don't be frightened of that. You know, even use that to your advantage. Like I said, I was on air one day and I said something. It wasn't rude, but I shouldn't have said it. And my director kept bringing that back on screen over and over again, because that's what people love. People love people being real. So start small. And what Nikki was just saying, you know, we don't have scripts. So have a product that you know inside out, absolutely back to front, that you don't need to, as you notice, my eyes have not moved from the screen. We're not reading anything. Imagine if I was doing that right now. I'd have to drop my eyes down here. My attention wouldn't be here. My passion wouldn't be coming forward. So start with something that you could talk about for 15 minutes non-stop. So that's what I was saying. Maybe not even 15 minutes. Maybe test yourself 5 minutes. Start small. But honestly, you've got to start. Don't you think that's the biggest thing? I think in life, fear holds us back because we're frightened of failure. But I think if you take that first step, make it small, and then grow from there, you really cannot go wrong. You really can't.
I agree. And one thing I did really want to talk to you tonight, Jainey, about is, and I know it's very different on you know, these TV shopping networks that you work with, but because you have on the screen how many callers are coming in and how many sales are being made and so forth, but you know, the people we're talking to won't have access to that, so the connection is very hard to maintain. And sometimes you can feel like, you know, is there anyone out there? Is anyone listening to me? Is anyone watching me? So how do you maintain that level of passion, do you think?
Well, you hit the nail on the head right there as well, saying, is there anyone there? I think that's a big no-no. So if you have got a notebook and pen, one of the biggest things not ever to say is there no one watching me today? Or there's not many people out there. I'm going to give you another analogy. It's not about presenting, but you'll be able to relate. Have you ever been to a health club or a gym, and there's only about 4 people of you in your class? Now you've showed up. I used to own a health club, by the way, and I used to teach too. And this is the biggest no-no for my instructors. Never say, oh, is there no one there? No one's interested. I think that's the biggest no. You always got to presume and let your audience know that there are so many people out there watching me today that is so excited to hear what I have got to say today. So, you know, even if you don't feel confident and you don't think there are many people out there watching, that is one thing you never, ever would say to your audience. It not only does it, you know, disempower you, it actually disempowers them from buying from you, because then they think, well, if that's the case, maybe I should switch off as well.
Exactly. So good points there, Jainey. And something that we really do need to discuss is calls to action.
Yeah, I mean, there's calls to action, which if you deliver in the right way, they don't actually realize it is one, if that makes sense. If you've ever been to someone that's really trying to sell something to you, but overly, what do? You just switch off. So you do want to have a call to action, because at the end of the day, we're about sales. But I think there has to be a balance. I think there has to be a number of times that you are going to have a call to action, and keep changing them around. I mean, on TV, we would obviously say things like that, well, you know, the next 20 callers only can join us in on this. Of course, it's going to be different for you, but you've got to come up with unique ways of letting the audience know that this is the time to buy. This is the time to do it. and keep saying words like that. You know, this is the time, everyone. This is what's going to make the changes, and these are the reasons why. Now, those are all calls to action, but they're not so in your face that people think, oh,
not so salesy.
I've heard that so many times. You're just trying to sell me something. But you do have to create the urgency. Yes, you do. I mean, when we're on live TV, we have that hour slot, and we do have to get people buying. Lots of the times we can be sitting there for half an hour before, and we would just be chatting like we are now. But of course, at the end of the day, there is an ending goal. You know, there's a goal at the end, and of course that is sales. But we do have to be creative. So I would recommend just sit there with a pen and paper, you know, over the next few days, and think about different ways that you could create the urgency. And that's what we like to call it. It's creating the urgency. It's creating the want. And of course, you know, we're all salespeople. The definition of a sell is that you have to give someone a product that actually fixes a problem that they have. So if you think of it like that, we have to have benefits to the sell, but then of course there has to be the emotional attachment to the sell as well, and that's what all comes in as well. So I think the best thing for you to do, whilst it's a good idea not to have a script, when we're doing you know, sales pitches and calls to action, just have in the back of the mind 3 different ways that you're going to encourage them to do it now.
Good advice. Amazing advice. Now, Annie, I can see you sitting there wanting to ask a question.
Yeah, I do have a question for Jainey, because not only am I a salon diva, I'm also a home shopping diva, right? When I don't sleep in the middle of the night, what do? I buy all the things that you don't need, like everybody else. So we keep Jainey working, and people like us that have products to sell, well, you know, we keep the money rolling in for us. So one of the things that I hear is, you know, or the red's gone, the yellow's gone, or the medium's now gone, or we only have this many left in that size. So, you know, that's another call to action, by just telling people that there are limited quantities of things.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Because what happens then, of course, is it's FOMO. I mean, let's face it, we're all human. It's that fear of missing out. And, you know, we might not think that we all possess that, but to some degree, yes, we do. You know, people think, oh, goodness me, if I can't get that now, if I don't buy it now, then someone else will take my place. That's absolutely right. And that is one way of doing it, is to say that, look, this is now selling out. So if you want this one, you know, don't miss your chance on doing it. Absolutely. Because that's what happens. People think, oh, goodness me, if I can't do it, someone else will.
Absolutely.
So someone else will. I mean, I have to tell you a quick story. I hope Nick doesn't mind me saying this. We were at the supermarket the other day because, you know, we were told you've got to go and buy stuff. And basically we were at the refrigerator, and I was saying to Nick, maybe you should buy some salmon, some frozen salmon. And this is honestly true. And what happened, because we were having that urgent conversation between us, how many bags are you going to buy? Oh, goodness me. This lady, didn't she, behind us, was listening to us, and literally she barged us out the way and grabbed the salmon. And that's exactly what we're talking about. She's thinking, oh, goodness me, I'm going to miss out on the salmon. And it's exactly right. And this is what we're talking about, is to give that urgency. They do need to buy now, because we don't know how long we're going to be doing it, maybe at this price, or you know, this particular product. Absolutely.
We're also guilty of that. Just recently, I was on my morning walk, and quite often Nikki, well, we'll talk to each other at 6 in the morning when we're walking. And I said to her, you know, I was watching the Home Shopping Network last night, and there was this really, really good camera, and I think I'm going to buy it. I'm such a lousy photographer. Seriously, I'd seen that ad a few times. It wasn't the first time I'd seen it. But, you know, I'd watched the encore programs, and the guy is saying exactly that. Well, we only have this many left and this many left. And, you know, the number was getting smaller and smaller. So now I'm desperate to have a camera that I absolutely don't need. But my darling friend, he said to me, well, do you think you really need it? It was like $1,200 or something. And clearly I didn't need the camera. So I have to thank Nick on that one occasion for
I saved you $1,200. That's a really nice lunch out, I think.
I'm going to pose a question for you. Let's say you had two presenters presenting that camera. Now, I would say, you know, the ones that are doing their job, and I call it job properly, are those ones that are excited about it. And I do have to say, when I present on TV, I will not present a product that I have no passion for, because, you know, it is very transparent, I think, when you're coming across on the screen, to absolutely be in love with the product, which you already are. What you'll find is with lots of TV presenters, they're actually given a product to sell just before they go live on air. Imagine having to come across with that product, and actually it's almost faking that they enjoy the product. I'm very lucky because I get to present the creations that I create myself, so I would never create anything that I don't love. So that's fantastic for you guys, because, you know, you actually love what you do, so you've already jumped that hurdle, and the passion that you will show, you know, on the screens will not be missed.
Exactly. And, you know, we just encourage everyone to get out there and give it a go. And, you know, the more I speak to Jainey and the more I think about it, the more I think we should all get on those TV shopping networks and see if you can, you know, get online and watch the European ones, and even watch Jainey, because I'm sure that there's lots and lots of videos online of Jainey where you can pick up tips and advice, and you, now that you've heard from her and she's spoken to you about the methods and the way which she sells online, you will pick up those tips watching her online.
But also not having product related information too. You know, we all like to have a, you know, a laugh and a joke as well. I mean, of course, we have to take everything seriously, but I think certainly with live TV, this is what I found over the years, is that, you know, you can afford to have a little bit of fun too. You know, you can afford to, you know, we had little quizzes sometimes, you know, did you know moments. Oh my goodness me. By the way, everyone, did you know this? I've learned this today. So trying to be as real a person as you possibly can really does work. And then what I did find on my Facebook is that people remember everything that I say, and they'd message me and say, oh goodness me, you know, that happened to me too, or completely unrelated to the product, by the way. And again, that creates that friendship, if you like. And it's so funny because after presenting on TV and then going to live shows, people come up to you and actually believe that they're your best friend. Yeah, they know you. Oh goodness me, do you remember when you said that 4 weeks ago?
I know.
No, I don't. But they do. They really do.
Sorry, Annie?
I said we all love to watch bloopers, don't we?
Yeah, well, but this is it. I mean, it's fun. It really is. You know, as long as it's, you know, in good taste. There's certain things, of course, we were never allowed to say on air, but and because it is live, and if you are doing lives, just be mindful of that, because you know, everyone's got their own tolerance.
That's exactly
shall
right.
we say? So just be mindful of what you can and can't say. But absolutely, there's no reason why you can't have a little bit of fun, and a little bit of cheekiness, I find, goes a long way as well. You know, it's, you know, some things that we did used to say live on air, yes, it was a little bit cheeky, but the audience absolutely loved it.
Interesting. So, you know, who would have thought that there was anyone on this planet that could speak longer than Annie and I? But, you know,
I haven't even got started.
Jainey, sorry, Nick.
I know you've got questions, so
I just have one question. I just have one question for Jainey. Is, you know, if you had 2 or 3 top tips to give people that are absolute, you know, your go-tos, or the best learning experiences that you've had that you can impart on them, you know, moving forward in their new video live, what would they be?
First of all, I would say eye contact is massively important. I think if you keep dropping your eyes down, then people will notice that you are maybe nervous. If this is something that you are starting you know, new right now, work on having that eyeball interaction. So you're looking at the screen, I'm looking at you now, Annie, I'm not looking down. Always have that connection. So connection very much is key. Content, we spoke about this earlier, make sure you know your information backwards. I think you said your shit backwards. This is brilliant. Know your shit backwards. You really do need to know that, because maybe sometimes you will say something and you get that muddled up. I would then also correct yourself. So that's the third thing. Don't be afraid to correct yourself. You know, if you say things on air, on your recordings that's actually not right, and you need to make sure you get that right, say, just let them know, oh, hang on a minute. No, what am I saying here? You know, no, hang on, let me get that right. Rather than let it go under the bridge and then think, oh, I hope they didn't pick up on that. Yes, they will pick on that. So don't be frightened to correct yourself. So eyeball connection, content, and make sure that you correct yourself as well. So that the 3 C's there.
Yeah, beautiful.
Interesting.
Always correct yourself. And again, we're real people, and people like to see that. They don't want to see wooden top presenters. Believe me, we've seen so many on our channel that we had to let go as well. We used to say, you know, tell your face that you're happy, and they think, well, I am, aren't I? Well, you're not coming across that on the camera. So and I think what the reason that happened is that they were so frightened in getting that information correct across the screen that they're actually foregoing personality, and at the end of the day, that's what will get you across the line, and that's what will get your sales for you.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, so how lucky are we to have Jainey Bennett with us tonight? You know, I feel so blessed. I thank you so much for your time and your knowledge.
It's been fun. I love it.
I love it. We might get it back later. Who knows? If you've got any questions for Jainey or about tonight's topic, please just drop us a comment or a message or an email if you've got our email, and we'll get back to you as quickly as we can. But we do encourage you to get online, give it a go, because right now it's more important than ever to be connected to your customers and your potential customers, because right now we're in a position we've never been in our entire lifetime. And if you haven't been doing videos before, we've been doing videos for years and we've been preaching about them for years, but now it is essential, isn't it, Annie?
It's absolutely essential. I think we've talked about this every single day for the last 2 weeks that we've been doing our lives daily, Nick. And, you know, if you haven't done it, you've had 2 weeks. So stop procrastinating and just give it a go. Remember, this is about resetting your whole business now. The whole world is in reset mode. So you're in reset mode too, and I think it's absolutely critical that right now, you know, you stretch yourself, get out of your comfort zone, as the saying goes, and try something new and different.
And be one of the ones to do it.
That's exactly
Be one of the ones to do it before the competition do it before you.
That's right.
And that was a call to action. Did you notice?
It was.
That was a call to action. Did you see that? That's exactly what I'm talking about. So you need to be ahead of the game before anyone else.
Great call to action, Jainey.
I love that. I'm going to steal that.
And let me just tell you quickly, a client of mine in Melbourne, Australia, she has absolutely no confidence when it comes to doing videos, but over the past couple of weeks I've been speaking to her and I've been saying, you need to be the face of your business right now before people start looking elsewhere, before other business owners start doing videos. Now, it took me about 2 weeks to convince her to start doing videos because she's very shy. She got online last night and she sent me the videos and I couldn't be more proud. And she said, can you please edit them? And I said, no way. I said, they are going up raw. So we popped them up on her Facebook page and the engagement she got was incredible.
That's good.
It was amazing engagement. So I encourage you to do it. Just be yourselves and just be passionate about what you do, who you are, and the knowledge that you have, and it will all work out. It absolutely will.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Just relax and have fun with it. That's
right.
Pretty stressful. It's just easy and effortless, and just laugh your way through it. Yeah. Seriously, fake it till you make it, as they say.
That's right. So on that note, we're going to sign off for tonight. I thank Jainey so much for spending time with us tonight because we feel so honoured to have such a well-respected expert in their field with us to share her knowledge just because she can. So thank you. It's very generous of you, Jainey. And as always, good to see you, Annie, and we'll be back live tomorrow morning. at 9 a.m. So we'll see you all then. Have a good night.
Darling, I think it'll be just a little bit later in the morning, not 9 a.m.
It possibly will, because Annie has an appointment in the morning, which I totally forgot about. So it'll be a little bit later than 9, but we'll let you know in the morning.
Yeah, there you go. There's the correction. That was great.
So we'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great night. Sleep
Good night,
well.
everyone.
And, give it a go. Good night.
Thanks, Jainey.